As the sun pierced through the slits of her opening eyes, she realized she knew Tiffany Calloway. Wrapped up in so much information last night, she completely forgot. They went to a private school together and even managed to have a few conversations from what Madison could recall. She knew how to find out more about her as well. Madison jumped out of bed and wrapped her robe around her pajamas. She dashed down the hall and ran smack into Kennedy, who looked as if she were preparing for her morning run. Her hands reached behind her body and pulled the bottom of her foot toward her rear to stretch her thighs. "It's way too early for that," Madison said.
"Better than coffee any day. Everyone else is up or never slept that I can tell. Do angels even sleep?"
Kennedy asked as she bounced from her right to left foot. The energy she displayed made Madison want to go back to sleep. I want coffee. I know who Tiffany Calloway is," Madison said.
"Yeah, they found out who she was about 2 in the morning. Brian refused to let anyone go until they exhausted all the leads they came across. He's quite the pit bull. I like him. Got to scoot, love. We'll talk more later. Go eat."
Kennedy dashed out the door and left Madison stunned in response. They knew who Tiffany was without her. She didn't like being left out of the loop. It only served to sour her mood as she walked into the kitchen. Andrew held out a cup of coffee as he did every morning. Just as she reached to take it, she remembered that Andrew was Uriel and he lied to her. She walked to the cupboard and got her own cup. She scowled as she poured a fresh cup of the delicious-smelling coffee and knew that he probably made it. She didn't want him there, and at the same time she wanted him back. She wanted Andrew back, not this Father Angel person.
"Good morning, Madison."
Uriel said. From the stiff tone of his voice, she could tell she hurt his feelings.
"Would you like a heavy or light breakfast this morning?"
He still wanted to make her breakfast, for some reason that only made her more annoyed in an irrational sort of way.
"No breakfast, thank you."
She turned toward the table where the others gathered. Brian appeared deep in thought and hadn't noticed she walked in. Gabriel bounced a ball off the ceiling. She found herself wondering about the angels in her kitchenette. She no longer doubted they were who they said they were. The wings were a dead giveaway. It still bothered her that they were able to find out about Tiffany without her. She'd never in her entire life felt unneeded before. It wounded her pride. In the same breath, she couldn't have been more grateful that someone, namely Brian, could remove some of the burden from her shoulders. As she stared at him, so intent on the paperwork in front of him, she knew that he would take all her burdens if he could. She took the opportunity to study him. His clothes looked rumpled and slept in, but it only made him even sexier. In her warped sense, she even found the bags under his eyes attractive. When she first met him, he seemed tall, but amongst the other angels, he appeared normal height. He didn't have the beauty of Michael, or the raw sex appeal of Gabriel, or even the quiet perfection of Raphael. What he did have, though, was a deadly combination of each, and a fierce determination made her wonder what he'd be like in bed. Whoa, where did that thought come from?
"Well, good morning, Madison. I'm certain we'd all love for you to continue your train of thought."
Gabriel grinned as he strutted toward her, pleased as a peacock, and she remembered, belatedly, the angels could read her thoughts. She felt a flush of embarrassment creep up as she slapped her hand over her mouth, even though she hadn't said anything.
"Not to worry, Princess. I'm the only one who would actually dare to invade another person's mind just for kicks."
Gabriel said. "I hate you right now." She hurried past him without looking him in the eye. Brian looked up and waved her over. She didn't miss the odd look Gabriel gave her but couldn't begin to worry about his thoughts. She walked over and stood behind Brian. Before him were pictures of random symbols. He kept moving them around in various orders in the hopes, she assumed, of them making sense to him. As she stared at the pictures, something from the back of her mind tickled her memories. She had seen them before. "Where?" In a slow, tentative movement, she reached around his arm and stopped him. The order he had them in wasn't right. Most of the images were upside down. She moved closer as he stepped aside. Turning the images around in the right direction, she searched for the lost memory. The room fell silent, but she didn't care. This riddle turned from idle curiosity to an all-consuming urge to set it right. She turned the cards front to back, right to left, until finally an order she recognized. Memories came, only not hers. A vague image of a man took form, a scarred face and black eyes.
"Madison, stop."
Gabriel yelled and snapped her attention from the images. She blinked a few times and looked up at him, wondering why he yelled. "What?" She took a step back from the table and wound up against Brian's chest. He placed his hand on her shoulder, and the simple movement calmed her.
"Sorry, Princess, but if you went any deeper with that thought, you might as well just have invited Mastema to breakfast."
Gabriel said before he resumed bouncing his ball off the ceiling. Oh, great response, Madison.
Mastema reasoned Lucifer fell. Specifically, the one so good at being bad, he got the man upstairs to agree to let him be the tempter of men.
I don't understand. Madison said.
Your killer, he's a demon, and on a scale of 1 to 10, he's at least a 75.
Gabriel said. You got that from my thoughts and these pictures. She asked.
No, I got Mastema from your thoughts, but the whole picture thing, I have no idea what that's about, ask Brian.
She turned and lifted her gaze toward Brian's face. What are these symbols?
They are the keys to hell.
And that means what?
It either means that you can use the portal to both heaven and hell, or that Mastema is so far embedded in your brain, you can pull him from your thoughts.
I don't want that psychopath in my head more than he already has been. What would it mean if I could use both portals to heaven and hell? When no one answered her, she turned to the one man who she'd avoided since she woke up. She could tell by the expression on his face, he that wasn't too keen on giving her the answers she sought. What weirder possible news could he offer up than what she'd been through already? Uriel, what does it mean?
Only a daughter of the heavens and a daughter of hell could use the key for both places.
Uriel said she didn't appreciate him distancing himself from the answer. What does it mean? She's dressed.
It means that your mother needs to be here as well. Would you call her, please? Are you sure you wouldn't prefer breakfast?
Madison had enough of half answers and lies by omission. She wanted to know what that meant. How could she prepare herself against a demon if no one would give her a straight answer? She slammed the coffee down on the table. It burned as it sloshed over her hand, but she didn't care. She turned to Brian. What does it mean? She asked through clenched teeth.
As near as I can tell, it means your mother is a priestess in hell, or a demon, I guess.
Brian said as gently as he could. Madison thought for a moment. She'd always thought her mother had a few screws loose, but a priestess in hell. She found it highly unlikely. A demon, she just came to terms with angels, a demon was just too much. Do I perhaps have a leprechaun sister? Is the tooth fairy my aunt? Santa Claus my grandfather? Do I have any pixie cousins? She glared at no one in particular.
Oh, I like it when she gets mad. Her eyes get all sparkly. Madison want to go out on a date with me.
Gabriel asked. Before she could respond to his stupid comment, Brian took off like a shot around the table and launched himself at Gabriel. Within 3 seconds flat, Brian pinned Gabriel against the wall, lifted off the ground with his forearm pressed against Gabriel's throat.
Apologize now.
Brian said.
Chill, bro, I was just trying to break the tension. Princess, please forgive my lack of social skills and tell your ape boyfriend to put me down.
Michael coughed into his arm, and Madison knew that it was a not-so-subtle attempt to cover a laugh. The thought of Brian as her boyfriend pleased her for someone she'd only met the day before. Brian, he didn't mean anything by it. Will you come in with me while I call my mother and attempt to bring her back to the States?
Of course.
He let Gabriel drop back down.
I also have a call to make. I would like to hear from Miss Calloway's guard. If she's still alive, I'd like to start Madison's training this morning.
Michael said.
So, Gabriel, how does it feel to be beaten by the new guy?
Raphael said it was the first time she'd heard him speak.